with that, Michael, the idea and the direction and the networking to get to more permanent, we'll say artistic endeavors that are a little bit more focused on public space, larger architectural installations. What is your dream piece? I mean, I'm sure that's a tough, loaded question.
I think to be commissioned by a museum, you look at what Olaf Eliasson does, or what Arne Kinze does, another a Belgian artist, where they're doing installations in public plazas. And here comes the rain. No? Oh, I thought I heard it. I feel it.
I thought I did too.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's
going to
spitting.
be short, though, I think.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll survive.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at large scale, like the Tate Modern in London, where Olaf Eliasson has done. He did a project called the Weather Project, and he hung a base like a sun and created atmosphere. It's looking at opportunities to work with cultural institutions and being commissioned to either do standalone events that serve on their own as an art installation, or aligning with, this is way down the line, but aligning with the World Expo or the Olympics. But thinking about urban spaces, environmental projects that champion the environment and green sustainability. I think my work will veer in that direction because I think it's critical for all of us to be thinking about.
And I think, that's, and it's actually pretty, I would say it's even progressive to be going that way. I mean, because I wouldn't even say it's ambitious anymore. I mean, it's the way things need to go.
Absolutely.
It's the way that art should be probably experienced and be thought about, as spaces get tighter and, as things constantly are in a state of flux and changing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seems like that's a real nice ambition, a real honest and pure, especially and indicative of the time. And
and I feel like it also will afford people, as the monsoon arrives, the environment, to use my work as a venue, as an opportunity to call attention and awareness to causes that are important.
Okay. Cool.
Not that I'm going to go proselytize, and become, a preacher, but I feel like it's certainly
your soapbox.
Yeah, right. It certainly could be in subtle, deft, clever ways.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who are some of your? So now that you've went from theater, like being immersed in theater. I mean, you were going to Broadway. You did, and then obviously that maybe that it started to wear a bit, or you started looking in different directions. Both vertically and laterally and everything else. But who are some of your initial influences for theater, and then moving into like more
environmental work?
Environmental work.
I mean, I think I've always been inclined to, or preferential of the work coming out of England and Europe. Bob Crowley is a long-time English set designer. Tim Hatley, I assisted a few times on Broadway.
Oh, cool.
There is the theatrical traditions coming out of England are such longer term and older than what's coming out of America, but also thinking about the abstractions and metaphors that they've been able to work with, because their communities and the demographics of the theater world over there is a lot more forgiving than what the American theater is based on, I believe, especially in the mainstream of Broadway commercial work. But as I expanded into more industries, other industries, and looking at installation artists, I mean, I think about photography and I think about sculpture all the time, are my influences. There's a Spanish architect, Santiago Calatrava, who's has a few commissions here downtown. He's designing the new World Trade Center's transit hub, the new Grand Central of downtown. There's a Cuban photographer, Abelardo Morel, who deals with a lot of camera obscura, pinhole camera work, which translates outside images into inside spaces and plays on two-dimensional and three-dimensional.
And actually, I've seen some of his work, and I think you actually passed that along.
Yeah,
passed that
I
along
sent
to
the
me.
link
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Very, very cool stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool.